Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 14 of the I Do Wedding Marketing podcast. That's 14. That means if you listen to one episode a day, we have enough to get you through 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks of knowledge, of wedding talk, of social media, 2 weeks of great things. So let's get started. Last episode, episode 13, was my first ever interview here on the podcast, and it was with Alaria Petrucci, who is a destination wedding photographer. And if you're looking really to get the day one of owning a camera, holding a camera, I'll fast forward to now where she's a sought after wedding photographer who is able to pursue other passions she has because of how successful she's been at this. Then this is an episode you really should go back to and listen to. I think you would really enjoy it. But today, what I want to talk about is the language behind what we're posting and the text behind what we're posting. A big part of your social media marketing. All the time we talk about the imagery and the photos and resharing photos, but there's a whole another level to this in your captions that we don't talk about enough. What makes captions particularly special to talk about is that it's harder to fake, right? For photos, you can find stock wedding photos. You can get photos from the photographer, you can get photos from the couple, you can take them yourself, but it's harder if you don't know what to write or if you can't write, if it's something you're not good at. So here's a little bit of what I do to get myself inspired and to create that content. Now, if this is just something you cannot do even after you listen, then maybe you want to outsource it. But I'm going to walk you through how I really tap into captioning posts. So I'm going to be using the example of a wedding venue for this, but you can apply it to whatever business it is that you have. But what I want to walk people through is what the experience is on the wedding day. So the first thing your guests will notice is what? Are they noticing that there are winding paths that make this venue seemingly exist on a world of its own? Are they noticing a grand lobby? Are they noticing that they're being, taken through a grand gate? What is that first step that you're going to notice when you walk in to this wedding? And then I'm going to start to take people to the next place. All right. So we're going to cocktail hour. What are some terms and keys about your cocktail hour that makes it different, that makes it special? All right. And all these points I'm going to be bringing up, I like to have included on the website as well. Text is good to have on your website. And I think it's great to even break up the areas of your business to describe what each room looks like, to describe what each menu course looks like, and so forth. So I'm walking people through cocktail hour, which means I'm having captions and text that are about the cocktail hour space. That's the room itself. Is it indoors? Is it outdoors? Can it be both? What are the amenities throughout cocktail hour? Do you have a special type of writing? Is it enclosed in a glass room that lets in natural light? Is it, are you under a canopied tent? Things like that. And then, of course, there's the food and the stations and what makes your menu special and what do people say about those menus. And what I would do here is I would write all this out first. You don't have to write it as you do each caption. I would write it all out for the website. And then when I'm doing my content, and I'm posting something that talks about the lobby or I'm posting something that talks about cocktail hour, then that's where I'm going in to those phrases that I use and pulling them from the website and changing them up a bit for the captions of my social media posts, or I'm just straight out copying it if it speaks for itself, if it still seems fresh and original. So you don't want to reuse the same phrases all the time, but if you haven't used it, then, copy it straight through from what you've written for your website. So after cocktail hour, what happens next? It's a reception time. All right. So then I'm going to be talking about, all eyes are be on you when you're at the center of our marble dance floor or whatever that process is. I'll talk about the space of the room, how many it can fit, what are the walls like, what is the floor like, etc. I'll talk about the dance floor as well. And then you could talk about the flow of the evening. You're going to be talking about the reception. So that's going to include the plated dinner as well, if it's for weddings, or maybe it's buffet, or maybe you want to talk about the different menu options you offer to accommodate different types of events and so forth. Then I'm going to be talking about the grounds. Where are you taking photos? Where is the photographer going to take you to take pictures? Sometimes you get those evening shots where you're being whisked away during the event. Where are you going to go on our grounds? What about it is special? Where are those must have photo spots? And then, of course, you get into dessert and anything else that is special about your venue. So that could include the people you work with, the experience, the hospitality, and so forth. If you're not able or don't want to put all of the terms and phrases you come up with on your website, then I save them on a document. And when I'm looking for content for captions, I refer to that document where I pull some of these phrases. Now, if you're not a venue, you may be having trouble thinking about how this can apply to you. So let me try to give you some other examples. You want to walk people through perhaps first their booking process. So maybe you want to say, when you first walk into our studio, we will, XYZ. So this could be whether they're selecting invitations, whether they're hearing a spotlight DJ performance to know if they're going to book you for a DJ, whatever it is, walk them through that process. And then you still can walk through the guest experience. So let's say you do signage, so you can talk about when your guests walk in to your ceremony, they're immediately going to be hit with the theming and style of your wedding through our signs. Or if you have a photo booth company, you would say, the first thing we will do after booking is designing your film and photo layout. They have the layouts for photos for photo booths that have, like a monogram and whatnot. So you can talk about that. So you can still walk people through their experience as a host and the guest experience. And there's different elements throughout it. It's not just one thing. You're not just experiencing good music from a DJ, right? So first you're experiencing the energy. You're experiencing the DJ welcoming in your guests, making you all feel as one, feeling the love. Then you're experiencing the DJ having music that brings you all together, that makes people want to get up and dance, that makes people want to celebrate. Then the DJ is making sure that all of your selections represent you as a couple, that everyone is getting up to watch your dance, to watch your cake cutting, etc. So you're walking people through what those experiences are. So just through those DJ examples, so you have one post with a bridal party where you talk about the entrances and you pull that phrase. Then you have another post where you're talking about the dancing. So you post a photo of a dance floor and you pull that phrase. And then maybe you have a post about the couple and representing them as a couple through the song. So you post a photo of the couple and you use that phrase there. And these don't have to be used all in a row. You can spread them out however you want. But this is how I utilize storytelling through social media captions. So, what this does for my clients is I've essentially already walked their guests through the process. I've already told them everything they need to know about this space as a venue. If they look through their portfolio, or rather their social media feed, they're seeing an indoor ceremony, they're seeing an outdoor ceremony, they're seeing the room set up for corporate, they're seeing the room set up for receptions. All of this content is going to be on their feed. And so if there's a lot of information that couples and hosts are able to find out just from consistently following or going back in the feed. So there's a lot of information that they're already going to have, and they're already going to know about your business just through the content that's already been posted. So if there's stuff you want your couples to know before you have that consultation call, for example, things like capacity or budgets or how to book a call with you, that all is stuff that I like to have within the captions. So this way, inquiries are already armed with that information and there's no surprises for anybody. So here's a short way to put it. You are telling a story, and the story is the experience of what it's like to work with you and what people can expect from working with you from every step of the journey. What it's like to book it, what it's like the day of, and what the feedback they get after booking is. When you get those reviews that come in that say everyone was talking about how great the DJ was, or how delicious the cake was, or how beautiful the venue was, that's part of the story as well. And this is so much more than just social media. This is your brand messaging. This is who you are as a brand, as a service, and as a business. So I would really look into tapping into what is the content writing, what is the written message that you are sending out and putting across, and how you can start to implement that onto your website and your social media. So if this is something that you don't think you're able to do on your own, you can visit my website where I have listed my social media packages if we were to do social media, or if we wanted to do an hour consultation call and we can work on your content marketing in specific. If you enjoyed hearing this today, one thing that you could do that would really help me out would be to leave a review on Apple Podcasts for this podcast. It really helps me to reach other wedding professionals. New episodes of the I Do Wedding Marketing podcast are dropping every Wednesday right now as we are in season 2. I'm also live on my Instagram every wedding Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and that Instagram handle is at I Do Wedding Marketing. So I take your live questions there for free. You can learn more about my services and inquire about working together on my website at www.idoweddingmarketing.com. And I thank you again for being here, guys. Until next week.